that I want to add is I think Chitrakuta is doing a fabulous job in having these sessions here. I did not have this in my entire school life. The only time I realized and I had these sessions was in my college. So you guys are in 8th, 9th and 10th, which is so beautiful for you to have these sessions. Whatever the sessions are and whatever Chitrakuta is doing as an expert workshop, I think all of you are very blessed and great. You should be grateful for Chitrakuta, for them to organize this, because usually in school it's only academics and schools only take care of the academics. But they have been thinking of yourself. They're thinking of you, your mental health, and they are putting all the ways which are important for you to perform well. So Chitrakuta is doing a fabulous job, and I think all of you are very blessed to be a part of it. So whatever the sessions are, make sure you make the most of it, right?
The ability to learn is a skill, and the willingness to learn is what we are. So we are all learners, and we are all in different stages of learning, and we have made a choice to learn and grow. That is what brings us here. Warm greetings on this enlightening noon, and this is Induvasi Sapna Madhusudan taking the privilege to welcome each of you present in Pratibhangana today. On behalf of Chitrakuta Group of Institutions, I welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Priyal M. Jain, who has graduated BBA from the Kingdom College. She is the co-founder of Aesthetics, a home decor brand. She has undergone 2 levels of public speaking. One of them was personally conducted by Mr. Deepak Shinde, the inspiration. She is an entrepreneur by choice. She has an experience of conducting public speaking sessions in the Kingdom College. She has hosted multiple events conducted by Deepak Shinde and also has personally conducted sessions for high school students. She has been very interested in marketing and sales programs conducted by Mr. Deepak Shinde again. We are highly delighted to have you among us here, ma'am, today. It is very important to know oneself and love oneself and understand oneself and feel good about ourselves, the way we are and what we are. So in order to enlighten us by helping us know ourselves better, we have Priyal M. Jain to share her knowledge about self-image. Over to Priyal, ma'am.
As I've been taught, and I would love to share this with all of you as well. In life, do you want to be good or you want to be happy? Happy! How many of you want to be happy? All of you? Almost all of you, 95% here. Okay? So Deepak sir has taught us that when we want to be happy, why do we always wish as good? So we always say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening or good night, right? All of you? All of you say good morning? Yes, all of you say good afternoon? Yes, all of you say good evening? Yes, all of you say good night? Yes, but in life, you want to be happy or you want to be good? Happy. If I have to give you one option, what do you want to be, happy or good? Okay, there's a mixed audience here. How many of you want to be good? And how many of you want to be happy? Can we go with the majority here? Happy. Okay, so I'm going to say happy afternoon, and all of you are going to reply to me in the same way. Okay, we're going to do it 3 times. 5, 6, 7, 8. Happy afternoon. Happy afternoon. Again, happy afternoon. Happy afternoon. Again, happy afternoon. Happy afternoon. I will start with a story. Listen carefully. There was a young girl, 13-year-old, holding the hand of her brother who was 11-year-old, and they walked into the birthday party of Miss Shirley. Amongst all fair complexion stood these 2 young Negroes, completely black in color, looking around for Miss Shirley. They spotted Miss Shirley amongst the crowd and gently walked up to her and wished her, "Happy birthday, Miss Shirley." After 2 seconds of silence, Miss Shirley replied, "Wait until the party is over and you can have the leftovers." These 2 young Negroes couldn't handle the situation with tears rolling down their eyes. They walked out of the party and ran until they found a road where they saw a balloon vendor. The balloon vendor was releasing some balloons in the air, and they saw that he inflated a black balloon. It went up. They inflated a blue balloon. It went up. They inflated a red balloon. It went up. They inflated a yellow balloon. It went up. they also inflated a white balloon that also went up. This young girl and this young boy found it very interesting and walked up to the balloon vendor and asked, "Uncle, you released all sorts of colors. It went up. I saw that you released a red balloon, it went up. You released a yellow balloon, it went up. You released a blue balloon, it went up. Uncle, if you release a white or a black balloon, will that also go up?" I think for the first time they met a gentleman who realized the gravity of the situation. The balloon vendor released a black balloon and put it up in the sky, and that also went up. He then put his arms around the young boy's shoulder and told him, "My dear child, it is not the outside of the balloon that takes it to the top. It is the inside of the balloon that takes him to the top." When I first heard this story, it changed my life. I realized that it is not the outside of a human being that takes the human being to the top. It is the inside of the human being that takes the human being of the top. And we all are made of the same inside stuff. It is not your beauty that's outside on your face. It is not your complexion. It is not your looks that will take you to the top. But it is your inner potential that will take you to the top. And we all are made of the same inside stuff. The glory of the existence is that we all are born as equals. All of you know Mahatma Gandhi?
Yes, ma'am.
So when Mahatma Gandhi was born, did the doctor or the nurse say, "Congratulations, Mahatma Gandhi is born"? Or did he say, "Congratulations, a boy is born"?
Ma'am, congratulations, a boy is born.
All of you like Virat Kohli?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, fans here, cricket fans here?
Ma'am, yeah.
When he was born, did the doctor or the nurse say, "Congratulations, Virat Kohli is born"? Or did he say, "Congratulations, a boy is born"?
Congratulations, a boy is born.
So when we are born, we are all born as equals. And the glory of the existence is that we all have the same potential. And all of you have to believe in this, that we all have the same potential. When each of us are born with the same potential. But what matters is when a topper is born, does the doctor say, "Congratulations, a topper is born," or "Congratulations, a boy or girl is born"? So when the topper is born with the same potential as everybody? Or when the failure is born, does the doctor say that "Congratulations, a failure is born," or "Congratulations, a boy or girl is born"?
Congratulations, a boy is born.
So when we are all born with the same potential. All of you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
How many of you have different opinions or thoughts? Any of you? You differ? You are with me or you are against me? All of you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you agree to me?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're against me, we can clear it right now. I don't want to move ahead without clearing this. So all of you agree with me that when we are born, we have the same potential. We are all born with the same potential. Then why are all of us not Virat Kohlis and why are all of us not Mahatma Gandhis? Yes?
Because each of us have different taste. In which we have taste only we have to succeed.
Correct. But why all of us are not successful? Yes?
Ma'am, actually other persons have different goals, ma'am. That's all.
Okay.
Everyone can't be Mahatma Gandhi, Virat Kohli and cricketers. Everyone can't be doctor.
I agree with you.
Everyone is there. I become a doctor. If they put effort, they can become Virat Kohli or Mahatma Gandhi.
Exactly. Yes. That's it. Yes?
It matters on how we use our potential and how we develop the potential to add to potential.
Exactly.
Ma'am, it is a thing of our mindset.
Your mindset. All right. Big words to use in 7th standard. Okay, 8th standard, I'm sorry. So all of us agreed that we have the same potential, and you all told me different reasons why we cannot become. When I meant to ask why all of us are not Virat Kohlis and Mahatma Gandhis, is what I meant to ask why all of us are not successful already. How many Mahatma Gandhis in the world?
One.
How many Virat Kohlis in the world? How many Narendra Modis in the world? Why only one? Why not 100? Why not 1,000?
Why? Because everyone has different names. That's the answer actually.
I'm not talking about the name. I'm talking about the status, the success.
Ma'am, why? Because Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he was born as a poor child. Because of his efforts,
Exactly.
he became Prime Minister of India. Virat Kohli.
Why do you like Virat Kohli?
Ma'am, why? Because of his efforts and centuries and his talking skills.
If you have to put all of that in one word, performance,
Yes, ma'am.
why do we like Narendra Modi?
Ma'am, Narendra Modi.
Next person will answer. At one time, one person can answer, okay? Why do you like Narendra Modi? Whoever likes Narendra Modi. Yes.
Because he has developed India.
He's performed for India. Okay, how many of you like Hrithik Roshan? Why do you like him?
His dance moves are.
His dance moves, again, he's performing. So all of us like all the celebrities because of their and that is why there are only few performers in the world. All of us are born with the same potential is what we agreed. But how do you have to be different with your performance? Potential is the same, but performance is different. And the only way to perform is to believe in your potential. The moment, that day when you will believe that, yes, I also have the potential to become great, your performance will improve. It's all in the performance because ultimately everything matters. And it all matters because of your performance. All of you right here, I don't want to bifurcate between failures and toppers because all of you understand that language. Who is given the maximum importance, failures or toppers? But all of us have same potential. So according to our potential, all of us have to be treated equally. But attention is given to whom? Why? Why? Simple? Understood? And one thing which I'm on your side and I'll give this different trick or clue, you don't only have to be good in studies. Performance does not mean that you have to be a topper. Not everybody likes to study. You agree with me? I also agree with you. But you have one thing that you really like. It can be a skill. It can be dance. It can be singing. It can be sports. It can be athletics. Any one skill that you really like, practice that skill so much and become a performer there. Won't people clap for you? Won't people give you attention? So all of us have scope to become a performer? All of us have scope to become a performer? And to become a performer, what do we have to believe in? All of you agree? But how to become how to make the performance better? Yes.
Practicing more on it and
Okay, 1 point. Yes? Dedication, 1 point. Okay, yes.
When we try once, whatever we are not able to do, focusing on that and doing better.
All right. Yes?
Sacrificing some.
I wouldn't agree, but okay.
Working on a weaknesses to make it a strength.
All right. Yes?
Mom, appreciation is needed, mom, from parents.
I agree. So all of you had, yes? Effort, okay.
Mom, we need encouragement from the people out there.
All right. So all of you had very philosophical points. How many of you are implementing what you said right now? 2 out of 10 of you who answered, right? I'll tell you something very practical. Everything the session is about today. Self-image. What is self-image? Yes?
What you think about yourself, no matter what everyone says.
Right?
Mom, maintaining your reputation.
All right. All right.
What can you become in your life? In our life.
Rest of you, only 3-4 people are attending my class. Rest of you are audience. Yes, I want you to think what self-image is. Is it very difficult? Tell me. Think about it. What do you think self-image is? You don't have to be right. I just want you to think and ponder around it. What is self-image? Yes? Character. What is self-image? Yes? The way you see yourselves. Okay. Somewhere we have got an answer. There are 2 parts here. Self and image. This image is what people think about you. You have an image and there are 10 different people who think 10 different things about you. That is image. But what is self-image? Self-image is how you feel about yourself. What you feel about yourself is self-image. How do you know that you have a very low self-image? You understood what self-image is? It is the feeling that you feel about yourself. Am I feeling good about myself? Am I feeling bad about myself? Am I feeling proud about myself? Do I feel like a failure? All that is nothing but your self-image. All the positive aspects means that you have a good self-image. All the negative aspects means that you have a bad self-image. But how do you know that you have a low self-image? Yes? All right. Yes?
Not like if we believe that we can't do something and it's not possible for us, that means
Okay.
If we don't believe in us, then that shows us that we have low self.
All right. Yes?
And we know about our mindset.
You like the word mindset a lot. Yeah, girls. Yes.
When we fail at something, we demotivate ourselves and never attempt to do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Doubting your potential. All right.
Sometimes the performance also matters.
But how do you know that you have a low self-image? How do you know that right now?
Failed in that performance, we got some comments about it.
Okay, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. You only. Confidence. Low confidence, low self-image. Right? That is what you say, no? What are the other factors?
Well, as some said, what we want to do.
not maybe like letting other people take control of you, they decide what you need to do and you won't have a
When you let other people control your decisions. Yeah.
Okay. Lower self-image means if anyone says you're like very failure, will not take marks in mathematics, then you will get demotivated and your self-image will be very low kind of thing.
No, but listen to my question. When I told you image, listen to me. Image is what people think about you. Self-image is how you feel about yourself. So what other people tell should not matter to you. How you feel that you have low self-image is what my question is. You think about it, answer later. Huh.
Mom, like thinking of toppers like who got more marks than me, but like what I didn't got the marks that is called the lower.
Yeah, you mean that if you compare yourself to somebody else, you have a low self-image, correct? All right. Having insecurity is a good point. Okay. Yeah.
Regretting your actions.
Regretting your actions. I'll give you three examples, okay, that you face in your every day of school. Very fun, interesting examples. And if you relate to me, if you feel that, yes, this has happened to me, that means you have a low self-image. Okay, we'll do this experiment right now. All of you will get to know that do you have a low self-image or not. Okay, number one, all of you have lunch break. So the lunch break bell rings and all of you go outside the class. Okay, there are different sections, right? There are different sections, different classes. So you go out of the class and you're going to the washroom. Okay, in between you find a group of people simply laughing. Okay? So a group of people here, you're walking, going towards the washroom, and they're simply laughing. After you pass them, you look at yourself, you look at your uniform. Is it all right? You're thinking that, what did I do? What is wrong with me that they're laughing at me? How many of you feel like that? You feel? Okay, you don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to raise your hand. I just want you to think within that, yes, once I think I would have felt like that. Number one. Number two, most of you will relate to this. Your teacher asks you a question in the class. Okay, right now also I'm asking a lot of questions to all of you. You have an answer in your mind. Okay, when I ask you a question or when your teacher asks you a question, you have the answer in your mind, but you're thinking, should I raise my hand or should I not? If I raise my hand and if the answer is wrong, what will people think of me? Or what will I feel when everybody's going to laugh at me? Should I? Should I not? Should I? Should I not? If you're feeling like that within, you have a low self-image. And number three, very interesting. Your friends call you names. Not nice names, some names that really hurt you. So once randomly somebody calls a name. Okay, you're walking and somebody calls any bad name and you turn back. That person was not calling you, but just because that person called a name, you turned back. That means you might have a low self-image. Very small, that happens in your, usual routine. These three situations most of you would have gone through. You relate with me? That means you have a low self-image. But you know what? Higher the self-image, more you will believe in your potential. And the moment you believe in your potential, greater your performance. All these three are interrelated. You believe in your potential. The moment you believe in your potential, you perform. The moment you perform higher, your self-image gets higher, and the moment your self-image gets higher, you believe in your potential even more. So it is very important for us to make sure that our self-image is big. Now how we all understood that what self-image is? We all understood that almost all of us have a very low self-image because all these years none of us have worked on our self-image, right? Now I will give you ways how to increase your self-image. You want to know? All of you want to know ways through which you want to increase your self-image. How many of you want to make your self-image very high? Almost all of you? You sure you want to make your self-image very high?
Yes,
you sure?
yes,
you sure?
yes,
all of you sure? How many of you feeling very sleepy? I know the session is around lunchtime and all of us are little. But let me tell you that once I discuss these 3 points with you, you'll be very excited, and the moment your self-image is going to go high, what will go high? Your belief in your potential. The moment your belief in your potential, what will become higher? The moment your performance becomes higher, what will be even more higher? So excited? Number one. This is a challenge for almost all of you. Okay? Ready? Period. All of us have this need, this very urgent need to compare. All our parents and all our teachers do, that is secondary. But how much we do it? This person is little more beautiful than me. She's little more pretty. He's little more handsome. Don't we do it? I think his pencil box is little more fancier than mine. I think his bag is more expensive than mine. I think his dad is a little better. I wish I had his dad. Yeah? Right? I wish I was born into that family. I would have lived even more better. Never? Yeah, my heart. Most of us have this habit of comparing. But you know what? All of us, you think your eyes and your partner's eyes are the same? You think your nose and somebody else's nose is the same? You can find similarities, but is it the same? The exact copy? Even if you are identical twins, there'll be something about you that is not similar to your twin. Yes? When we are comparing man-made, and we are comparing God-made together, is that right? Is comparing right? The moment you compare, your self-image goes low. Because when you're comparing, you're always comparing either somebody who is greater to you or somebody who's less inferior to you. You compare yourself to a beggar. Thank God I at least don't have to live like a beggar. Yes? Thank God at least I'm richer than this person. But you have not yet earned money. It's your dad's money, but thank God I'm at least richer to this person. Every single minute of your day, ask yourself, how many times do you compare? You compare yourself to your peers, you compare yourself to other people in the world, you compare yourself to people who don't even know you. I wish I was Deepika Padukone. I wish I was Shah Rukh Khan. Constantly. Comparison is the deadliest disease. If you always keep comparing, that means you have a disease of comparing. Think about it. Everything in this session is only for you to think, to get your thoughts clear. The moment you get your thoughts clear, you will understand my session even without me having to explain it deeper. So number one, what are you not going to do?
Don't compare.
Don't compare. Simple. Why? Why don't you have to compare? You only answer my question. Each one of you have your own uniqueness, I agree. Why should you not compare? I told you, don't compare. But I don't want this to be like a lecture. I want you to agree with me. Only then you will implement. Yes? Your self-image will be low. That is the best point. Yes? Self-image will be low. So all of us are agreeing that no matter what, we have to have a high self-image. Yes? Agreed on it? Number one solution is not to compare. Yes? Somebody from there. Yeah?
If we compare with others, like we'll be stuck in comparing only. We won't increase our
Yes, right. If you compare, you either have an inferiority complex or a superiority complex. You either feel that you're inferior to somebody or you feel you're superior to somebody. You either feel you are less as compared to somebody or you feel high as compared to somebody, and both are bad. So number one thing, never compare yourself to anybody else, but that does not mean don't compare your present performance from your past performance. I scored an 80 last test. I think I should score an 85 this test. Always, you have to compare, you want to compare, that disease will never go practically. If you want to compare, why not compare your past performance to your present performance? Did I improve myself? I danced last time and I made 2 mistakes. I'll make sure that this time when I dance, I don't make any mistake. Challenge yourself. This entire thing can go into a positive direction, can't it? Compare your past performance with your present performance, and then you will realize that your performance is becoming better. And the moment your performance is becoming better, your self-image goes higher. The moment your self-image goes higher, you believe in the most magical way. So don't compare yourself to others. And even if you want to compare, then make sure you compare your past performance with your present performance. All of you agree? Yes. You're on the same page? Yes? Number 2. How many of you like this word? How many of you love to be appreciated? I'm so proud of you. When your teacher says that, all of you? Yes. How many of you don't like to be appreciated? How many of you, be proud and raise your hand, I don't like to be appreciated, let your teachers know they will never appreciate you anymore. All of us, even if you want to be really cool and tell the world that, you know what, I don't like to be appreciated, heart of the heart, all of us love appreciations. We all really urge to be appreciated. When somebody comes and tells that you did a good job, do you feel bad about it? Do you feel good about it? You sure you feel good about it? Yes? When somebody tells that you are my champion, I always believed in you, you feel good about it, you feel bad about it?
Very good.
Very good about it? You all feel really appreciated? So do something by which you receive appreciations. What can you do? Give me ideas. What are those things that you did earlier for which you received appreciations? Remember? Yes?
Mom, in old school,
You don't have to think what other people think about you. You're talking to me? You're talking to me? Are you talking to me? Then you look at me and you talk. No, I want to know one task Or see, all of us right here have not been toppers. All of us here are not good at skills. I want you to give ideas to your friends by which they will listen to your idea and they will feel like, oh yes, she did that, she got appreciated, that means I also can do that. Be an inspiration to them. So I want to know what is that one thing you did for which you got appreciated, so they also learn from you. So all of you have done something or the other in your life for which you have been appreciated. You don't have to climb the Mount Everest to be appreciated. Small acts of kindness, little bit help to somebody, small achievements, these small things can also get you some appreciation. Always make sure that there are two differences here again. I'm not telling you to impress somebody. I'm not telling you to take a bike and do wheeling so that 10 girls will fall in love with you. No. That is not appreciation. You don't have to impress somebody to get appreciated. How many of you love impressing? When you impress somebody, it stays for a little time. Oh wow, that's all. But when you do deeds of kindness, when you perform, when you achieve something, that appreciation stays for long. So I'm not telling here that you have to impress somebody, but what I'm telling here is that you have to do some skills, show some skills, show some achievements, do some small acts of kindness, help somebody so that you get appreciated. Okay? Did you get the two difference between impressing somebody and getting appreciated? They are not the same. If you still have the confusion, we can discuss. All of you? Impressing and appreciating, difference you understood? So can somebody tell me the difference? Appreciation is something that you do because you want to do. I am dancing because I want to dance. I am performing because I want to perform. I am helping because I want to help. Impressing is because I will perform so that you look at me and you will clap for me. I will dance because you look at me and you will clap for me. So when you think that I want to do this because I want to impress somebody, is it very definite that people will get impressed? It might happen, might not happen, but when you do something because you want to do it, will you be appreciated? Definitely. Yes. So don't do anything to impress somebody because you don't have to impress anybody in the world. Do things because you want to do it and in turn you will get appreciated. Number one. Number two. Do anything that you feel like doing for which you will get appreciated. Right? All of you? Same page? Number three. Pick up a skill that you are not good at. One thing that you feel that I wish I could be a football player. I wish I could learn cricket. I wish I could sing. I wish I could dance. I wish I could be better at studies. One thing that you feel that you are not good at, pick up that skill, polish that skill, and you will see in some time you will be appreciated. You will not be compared for the same. So what will you do the third thing? Pick up a skill that you are. When I say pick up a skill that you are not good at, make sure you pick up a skill that is challenging. If you are a dancer and you keep dancing all your life, your existing people will appreciate you once and twice. After that, will they keep appreciating you all the time? No. But imagine that you are a non-dancer. Everybody around you has never seen you dance. And suddenly you will pick up the skill of dancing and you will start dancing. Will people appreciate you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Always pick up a new skill. Always pick up something that you are not good at. Polish it, practice it, and you will see that you will receive appreciations. 3 ideas. 3 very basic ideas. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. All of you clear? You have in your mind what you have to do from now onwards? Okay? Again I repeat. Number 1, All of us have the same? All of us have the same? All of us have the same? And the moment you believe in your potential, what happens? The moment you believe in your potential, what happens? And the moment you perform better, what happens? And the moment your self-image is high, what happens? You believe in your potentials even more. Listen to this story, the next story. Very transformative story. This happened with Deepak sir. So there was a student studying in his 8th standard who had a very strict dad, a very orthodox dad, a very strict dad, and always his dad would always keep nagging him, scolding him. So one day he got really upset and he went to attend one session of Deepak sir. And after the session, he said that, I loved your session, but I have a problem. No matter what I do, my dad is always scolding me, always nagging at me, always looking at me and telling me bad comments and giving me bad remarks and talking bad about me. What do I do? Deepak sir asked that, wait, tell me how much you scored in your last test or your last exam. And he said 53%. Deepak sir said, for 53%, which dad will take you on his shoulder and tell everywhere, look, my son scored 53%, look, my son scored 53%. Would anybody's dad do that? Does your dad do that? Deepak sir told him, until your next exam, you have 3 months. In these 3 months, forget everything else. Forget all your distractions. And the only thing that you have to do is a challenge that you'll have to challenge yourself. Get 83% in your next exam. Put everything that you've got, study hard, work hard, practice. And in the next exam, when you get 83%, will anybody's dad again scold? For some student who would get 53%, the same student who would get 83% in the next exam, would their dad scold? No. And this is for all of you here. He said, the loudest way to tell the whole world shut up is to produce results. The loudest way and the only way to tell the whole world shut up is to produce results. People are talking about you. People are calling you with bad names. People are insulting you. People are putting you down. People are making your self-image. People are trashing your self-image. If you're feeling all of this, then the only way to tell the whole world shut up is to produce results. All of you here, in whatever way you can, produce results and the world will keep their mouth shut. Because all of us agreed that performance is what matters. All of us have the same potential, but to show the potential to the world and to tell them that, hello, you don't get to tell whatever you get to tell me. And to tell them to shut up, the only thing that you can do is to produce results. That's it. We learned that we all have the same potential. We learned that, yes, to show the potential to the world, we have to perform. And when we perform, our self-image increases. And to maintain that self-image and make sure that nobody dents your self-image, produce results. Because nobody is going to get inside you and see your potential. Nobody has the time to do that. Nobody will to do that. And the only way to show everybody and show yourself that, yes, I think I am somebody and I have some stuff. And to show that, the only thing that you can do is to produce results. Put that thing very clear in your mind. And the moment you stop producing results, then you know the consequences that you've already been facing. And if you want to keep facing the same consequences, then continue to do whatever you want. But if you want to show the world, and you want to show yourself that, you know what, enough. I think I have some stuff and it's time for me to show it to the world, then produce results. One very beautiful set of lines that I have learned, which I will share with you. And these set of lines is what I want you to wake up every day in the morning. Maybe take an A4 size sheet or a very creative drawing sheet, write it on that sheet, stick it on the mirror. And every morning when you get up, you make sure you tell these lines to yourself very intensely. We'll practice right now. I'll show you how to do it. And every morning Once before starting your day, you do it, you will feel the energy, you will feel a high self-image every morning to start your day. You want to know the lines? Okay, we'll go one by one. In the history of the world, there was no one like me. I will give you time after we do it, you can write it down that time. Number 1, in the history of the world, there was no one like me. Nobody in the past has been born like you, same like you. All of you agree to this? Yes? In the history of the world, there was nobody like you, agree? In the times to come, there will be no one like me. Agreed? In the history of the world, there was no one like me. In the times to come, there will be no one like me. And as of right now, there is nobody like me. In the history of the world, there was nobody like me. In the times to come, there will be no one like me. And as of right now, there is no one like me. I repeat. In the history of the world, there was no one like me. The second sentence says, in the times to come, there will be no one like me. The third sentence, and as of right now, there is no one like me. Fourth sentence, I am unique. All of you are unique? You believe that you are unique? Yes? One of a kind. All of you feel you are one of a kind? Or you feel like you are same as somebody else? How many of you feel that you are same as somebody else? So all of you believe that you are one of a kind? Yes? Rarest of the rare. How much ever you try and find somebody like you will still not find somebody like you because you are rarest of the rare. Wonders of the wonders. You think an ant might be wondering that God made me so small, but human beings. Have you ever wondered that, oh my God, I'm a human being? You could have been an ant, you could have been an elephant, you could have been any other animal, but you are a human being. You are a wonder. Wonder of the wonders. This is my most favorite point. Absolutely original. You think you are original? Or you think you are a copy of somebody? You think you are original? All of you feel that you are the most original self? Absolutely original. Yes, you are absolutely original. Are you all of you with me? The last two sentences says, I am a masterpiece. That master has created you. And all of you are created by that master, you agree? So all of you are a masterpiece. And all of you are that master's piece. Right? In the history of the world, there was no one like me. In times to come, there will be no one like me, and as of right now, there is no one like me. I am unique, one of a kind, rarest of the rare, wonders of the wonders, absolutely original. I am a masterpiece, and I am my master's piece. Very intensely, I want you to raise your right hand. Right hand, everybody right hand. Those of you lefty, left hand. Okay, whichever hand you are comfortable with, raise the hand, make a fist. Tight. Whichever hand you are very comfortable with, I want you to raise and make a fist. Okay? Make sure there is enough space between all of you. I don't want you to stick to. Make sure you have enough space that you don't hit anybody. Okay? For first 2 times, we will look at the board and we will say it. You will repeat after me. I tell one line and then you tell one line. After 2 times, we will make sure we will close our eyes and we will tell, okay? So every time you say a line, make sure you fist, okay? For example, in the history of the world, there was no one like me. In the times to come, there will be no one like me. And as of right now, there is no one like me. I am unique. I am unique. One of a kind. One of a kind. Rarest of the rare. Rarest of the rare. Wonders of the wonders. Wonders of the wonders. Absolutely original. Absolutely original. I am a masterpiece. I am a masterpiece. I am my master's piece. Got it? Okay? You will close your eyes now. Get up, get up, get up. You're so tired so quick. I want you to feel every word. This is for you. The moment you say, don't you feel energetic right now? All of you who said it with a lot of energy, don't you feel energetic? If you're feeling very tired, you didn't do it properly. Okay? With all the energy that you have, I want you to feel shivers throughout your body. Okay? With all the energy you have, you will repeat after me. I want your eyes to be closed, everybody. Close your eyes, fast, fast, quick. Close. I want you to think of all those people who have put you down. I want you to think of those relatives, those friends, those neighbors who've spoken bad about you, who've called you with bad names, who always keep telling you that you're fit for nothing, you're better for nothing, who keep making fun of you. I want you to think of all of those people. All your friends, all your relatives, all your neighbors, whoever it is, I want you to think of them. I want you to get angry. That how could they? They've not seen your potential. How could they talk like that? And enough. No more you are going to let anybody dent your self-image. No more you're going to let anybody talk bad about you. No more you're going to give a chance to anybody to even put you down, because you're not going to let anybody dent your self-image. We all have high self-image, and we are going to make sure that we are going to keep our self-image high. I want you to feel that, and you will repeat after me. I want all of you to fist your hand, keep your hand high, make a fist, and repeat after me. In the history of the world, there was no one like me. In the times to come, there will be no one like me. And as of right now, there is no one like me. I am unique. I am unique. One of a kind. Rarest of the rare. Wonders of the wonders. Absolutely original. I am a masterpiece. I am my master's piece. Keep your eyes closed. I want you to feel strong. I want you to feel that your self-image is already gone very high. And you have it in you to perform. Perform like never before. I want you to show the world what you are made of, what stuff you have inside you, and what your potential is. And all of you have amazing potential. All of you. And the only way to tell the whole world shut up is to produce results. And all that we will focus from here on is how to produce results. Now I want you to imagine that all of them who were talking bad about you, they're starting to appreciate you. They're talking good things about you. And you're becoming popular. People are recognizing you, people are noticing you, people are loving you. Because you deserve it. You have a very high self-image, and you will maintain it. You will perform and make sure your self-image goes even more high, and with that you believe in your potential. All right? I want you to open your eyes. Sit down for 2 minutes. And whenever you're ready, I'm done with the session, I want you to share what you felt, what you feel like, what you want to do from here on after this session. Okay? One by one, whenever you feel like you want to share something about today's session, you want to share something about yourself, you want to share about what you want to do, you can share.
Okay. I felt this session really interesting, and I want to pick up a skill of learning and dancing. Why? Because everyone says I'm a really dumb person, and I'll talk. Others are speaking. That's why I want to pick up a skill to challenge me and to everyone shut up of my results. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for thank you, ma'am, for encouraging me. I felt very strong after this session. I feel like I can move mountains and like that. I can prove anybody that I can do anything. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, Shri Krishna.
I'm Aisri from grade 7 from Chitrakuta, Kaushalya. Earlier I was very shy to do everything, but after this I'm feeling like I can do everything which I want to do now.
I was shy to make friends. Now means I feel powered and stronger then means if we have friends, we learn from them and we share them things so that you can keep confidential in themselves and it doesn't hurt your self-image also means we don't share much things that it doesn't hurt your self-image.
I got to know what is self-image, how was my self-image before and how will I progress it now.
What did you learn to do after knowing how your self-image is right now? What do you think you have to do?
Never compare others with myself and never try to impress someone by
doing what you don't want to do?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, I'm Ganvi. So after this, I had a really low self-image. After this, I inspired from you that no, I should change myself, and who all were putting me down, I should challenge them and I should show them how great I am.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel this is a very important workshop since it has given me a heads up on what is coming for me in further life. I've also learned what is self-image, how to improve your self-image and performance. Before, I was not aware of these facts and probably didn't know what self-image was. After this workshop, I am very grateful and I thank you, ma'am, for the...
Thank you so much.
So yes, after this session, I think I could realize that it was not anyone else that was trying to put me down. It was myself. It was a voice in me telling I couldn't do something because I was comparing myself with others. I think I know now how to shut that voice in my head and tell that voice I can do it and not to compare myself with others.
Good.
So I had just one doubt, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
I heard you were talking about Mr. Deepak. So, because you were telling most of his stories, why isn't he here himself?
He'll be here.
23rd.
So you will know the man himself. He'll come and take a session for you.
First off, I'm really happy to be a part of this workshop, and my goal right now is to use these tactics to improve my self-image.
Good. All of you make sure right now, I don't know how much importance you are giving to this, but the reason all of you would have also observed, I don't have to see this from a sheet of paper and write this on the board. I know this by heart. So every word of this has gone so deep into my subconscious that no matter what, I don't allow anybody to put my self-image down. Because I know that I am unique. I know that I am one of a kind. I know that I am rarest of the rare. I know that I am wonders of the wonders. I know that I'm absolutely original. Because I know it. And the moment you know it, you feel so great about yourself. You feel so great about yourself that whatever people say does not even matter to you. Make sure you tell this to yourself every single day. Every single day, whenever you feel low, whenever you are in your low moments, make sure this, you write it somewhere, and you just, with all the intensity that we said right now, make sure you tell it with all the intensity. And the moment you tell with all the intensity, everything will just go away, and you will feel stronger. You will feel that, yes, I have a high self-image, and nobody can dent it, right? Make sure you write this down and you repeat it. Thank you.
My name is Vihan. At first, when somebody used to tease me or then tell bad things about me, I really used to think that it was true. After this session, I learned that I should stop comparing and start analyzing what they told and not like think about the bad things they told. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before this session, I used to think I only used to think low about myself, and from this session I got an inspiration to become a new person who believes in herself and who tries to give her best. Thank you.
Very good.
And I thank you, Mom, for this session.
Thank you so much for being there.
Myself Prithvi, and after this session I'm very I learned what is self-image, and I am very happy to be in this session. I learned the key to performance and the true potential of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Myself Unnati. So first before if somebody used to tell bad about me or they used to tell you can't do it, I was like yes I can't do it, and my self-confidence used to go down. So after this session I learned I can do it whatever I can, and I can give more best for which I can't do, I have to do hard work for that. And thank you, ma'am, for this session.
Myself Samhita V.S. I am from Chitrakuta Kaushalya School. Before I used to feel to raise my hands or to not because I would be wrong or not. So I didn't raise my hands. From these sessions I got to know how to improve my self-image and everything. Thank you, Mom, for the session.
Always raise your hand. You share very beautifully.
Myself Dhruv, I am from Chitrakuta Kaushalya. Ma'am, I thank you for this session, ma'am. Ma'am, from this session I learned what is self-image, and I used to have a low self-image. Now I can make myself to become a good person. I understood that I am unique and there is no one like me. And before, if I perform and if I do something mistake in the performance, I used to feel bad, but now I will challenge myself. Thank you for encouraging me, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Myself Avani, I am from Chitrakuta Kaushalya. I thought that I was very low and I had a very low self-image, and now I have a high self-image of myself, and I will challenge everyone that I can do anything which I want. Thank you, ma'am, for this session.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, first I will thank you for the session, and I learned that first I was thinking that if I get less marks, my friends, what they will think about me. After this session, I got to know not only in study, I can show them by my skills, and thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
I'm Clevin, and more or less what I have been taught in this session, what I learned in this session, I've been implementing it in my life from some past few months, And even though I've been implementing it, from what I took away from this session is that I had that some self-doubt on myself every time I tried this. But now after this session, I'm going to improve myself and not allow self-doubt.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Make sure that you hit all the challenges, life becomes easy. It's not difficult, it's challenging. Okay?
So myself, Smriti. First of all, I thank you so much for this session. It's like you have become a voice from now. Whenever I feel low or whenever I feel that okay, I'm not able to do this, your voice will encourage me and motivate me for doing that and building confidence in myself. So recently, I've been trying to build confidence, but I was not able to. The session has helped me a lot, and whatever others think about me doesn't impact on me, and you have made it confident and stay in my mind that I am unique and I am the rarest of the rare. Thank you so much.
Always believe in it.
Yeah,
Remove your mask. No, I'm not able to.
Ma'am, I'm not well.
Okay.
Yeah, so ma'am, like before the session, I used to think like I used to embarrass myself in front of my friends by making very funny jokes and stuff. So now, like, I really used to doubt myself. Should I do this or should I not? Now, after you told me all these words, then I understood okay, maybe I should really stop and work on improving my self-image. So yeah, that's it now.
All of you done? How many of you are still feeling, should I not? Should I not? If you're feeling, yes. Say it. See, one thing, listen to me. I'll tell you this story. You want to know about me, how I am here? So I studied in a convent school. In a convent school where there were approximately 1,200 students. So whenever we had a session, there were 1,200 students in the session. And I remember I always used to sit maybe 3-4 benches from the last. So 1,200 session, we had a big auditorium. And whenever we had sessions, I would always sit last, maybe 3/4 of the hall would be full and then I would sit. And I was always on that side. I was not good at studies. I was not good at athletics. I would never go on the stage and dance and sing because in convent schools, there used to be these things, 5 toppers. The toppers only will dance, toppers only will sing, toppers only will do drama, toppers only will always be in the forefront. Okay, so because I was not good at academics, I always thought that I think I can never beat them, I think I can never be them. Alright? And then after I finished my 10th, so until my 10th standard, I was always one in the last. I was not popular, nobody knew me. I don't even remember if my school teachers know me yet. So I was one among 1,200 students in my school. After I finished, I joined SIRS College, which is the Kingdom College, and there we had this session. So before this, we had one more session, which I think you will have sometime later. But in that session, I realized that it does not matter what potential people have, how they perform and their self-image. I realized that I think I have my potential and I realized I have my potential. The only thing I did not do all this while is I did not perform. And because I did not perform, nobody even knew what potential I had. And to show people what potential I had, the only thing I had to do was perform. That's all. And when I realized that, I think that is when I picked up. That is when I picked up, and the first thing I did was raise my hand and I shared. The moment I raised my hand in that session, when I realized that all these years until my 10th standard, not even once I've spoken, and because of that, nobody recognizes me. All of you know this boy. What's your name? I forgot. Preetham. I also know this boy. Has this boy made an image in my mind today? Will I remember him forever? Has he performed anything? Has he done great things, skills here? 1 minute. Has he done some great things here? What has he done? He shared. He shared once, he shared twice, he shared thrice. He made his mark. So many of you made fun of him, correct? Even if you will deny it, I'm standing here, I could see it. It's okay to accept that you did. So many of you made fun of him. Did he stop sharing? That means he has a great self-image. And make sure, Preetham, nobody dents your self-image. Even if people make fun of you, that is their work. Not everybody is going to talk good about yourself, know that. There are going to be people who are going to talk shit about yourself, but that does not mean you stop. And in that session, I realized that I don't care what people think about myself. The first thing I have to do is to raise my hand. And that day, sitting there, I realized that enough. All these years, I've only sat on the other side and I've clapped for everybody. I think it's time for me to go on the other side. And from then onwards, that first sharing made me realize that. And then I did public speaking sessions, and then level 1, level 2, and then now I'm on this side. And would you clap for me today? Did I change? Did this change for me? Then it'll change for you as well. So that's why I was so keen on making all of you share, because the moment you share and when everybody else clap for you and appreciate you, you feel good about yourself. Your self-image goes high. We implemented it today itself. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here, for listening to me, for understanding the session, and for being on the same journey and making all of our self-images high. So make sure nobody dents your self-image ever. Okay? One more sharing. You want to share? Okay, last few of you who think that should I not? Quickly, 2 minutes sharing, finish it. He's very nervous. He wants to share, you share. घर जाने के बाद नहीं होना चाहिए कि अरे यार, I should have. Think about it. No regrets in life. Something. Yes, good. Give a round of applause.
I was very nervous, ma'am.
So was I. So was I. Now you feel good?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I learned what is self-image, how to build up the self-image in our soul. And ma'am, I have a question. After you you raised your hand in the class, even you formed this speech
Even I?
Did you from where did you find this this thing?
Deepak sir taught me. He
Deepak
took
sir.
the class on self-image for me, and that's where I learned, and then we've got trained under him, and then we are taking it for you. He can't be in 10 different places at the same time.
Yeah.
So we are just following his footsteps. You will see, make sure all of you, ma'am, if I could do this, if I can just tell them, whenever you have sir's session, make sure you attend it, right? All of you, you have a session coming up soon, your teachers will fill you on it, but make sure you attend the session. Anybody else who want to share? You feeling it inside, should I not? I'll count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In that, if you don't raise your hand, you lose the opportunity, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, yeah. Last 3 sharings, and then we'll close it.
I didn't believe what you said about self-image, potential, and performance. So I think you go to some bodybuilder.
What?
And, think you go to some bodybuilder guy.
I didn't get you.
Think you go to some bodybuilder.
I go to some bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But looking at my body, you feel like I'm a bodybuilder.
No.
Then?
Just think as if you go and see a bodybuilder. Won't you think that this guy is bigger than me? It doesn't always matter about self-image. It also may matter on genetics.
No. Narendra Modi's dad was a great man.
I'm talking about physical abilities.
Physical appearance. Narendra Modi has a good physical appearance. He's a bodybuilder, is it? Isn't he the Prime Minister of the country?
Physical ability.
Yeah, you think physical appearance is important, is what you're saying. You're saying it.
Yes.
So I have hyped you so much about Deepak sir, no? You attend his session, you see his physical appearance. And then you tell me if that man can do great things in life, anybody in the world can do great things.
I'm telling about physical performance.
Physical performance like?
Like physical ability, like running,
Bodybuilding
swimming.
Yeah.
Like that.
So what about it?
So what about it is some people can still try, but they'll fall back due to genetic inability. Such as a guy may be shorter than another guy, so he can run faster.
Okay.
Or it may be that a guy has flat feet, so he can swim better.
Yes, they can.
So like that genetic ability also makes up some of self-image.
But in spite of having the genetic ability, can't you perform? There are people with broken legs who still perform. They have a genetic ability, but they're still performing. So it is possible, is what I'm saying.
It's possible, but it plays a huge role in self-image.
There is one man, sit down. There's one man, I don't know if I remember his name. He does not have all 4 limbs. Anybody of you who remember him? He does not have his legs, nor he has his hands. You remember him? You should know him. Do you know him? You're talking about genetic disability, no? You know him? I don't, yeah? He paints, he swims, he has a big mansion, he earns, he does everything in the world. That does not mean his genetic abilities put him down. He still believed that he has potential. In spite of not having 4 limbs, he still believed he had potential. He performed with whatever he has, and with that his self-image went high. If he did not believe in himself, he did not believe in the potential, he did not perform, he did not have a high self-image, he would have broken down, no? So at the end, this is one of the all important points that you have to make sure. The other important points are there as well. I'm not denying the fact, but this is one of the most important point. Understood? Clear? Sure.
Myself, Unnati, and first of all, thank you, ma'am, for this session. I actually got impressed as first itself about that story. I literally got goosebumps about that. Like, you inbuilt my confidence level. I got to know that life is not as easy as you think. It's difficult. So, just to increase my self-confidence, I really needed this workshop. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. All of you, have a great weekend, and I'll probably see you soon.
Thank you, Priyal ma'am. That was truly enlightening. I think we have made the right choice of attending this workshop, and it has truly paid it. And we request Priyal ma'am to kindly accept a token of love from us, and I request Yamuna ma'am to felicitate her. So very interesting, and you had that bond and that connect in just 1 hour with the children. It's truly mesmerizing to be here. Thank you so much. A huge round of applause for Priyal ma'am. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Kshiti Hemant from grade 9th. Today I attended a session of self-image organized by our school management and conducted by Miss Priyal MJ. She has helped me realize that how self-image is important in life, how it helps us to be confident. And she has also given us tips and tricks how to keep ourselves confident and to increase our self-image. I would like to thank her for all the help she has done for us, and like to thank the school management for giving us this opportunity to attend this session. Thank you.
Today was a great session conducted from Priyal ma'am. Today it was all about self-image. Today we got to know about how self-image is really important in our life. Priyal ma'am told us all about many different things. They told us about how not to compare ourselves to each other and how to increase our self-image way higher and make it the best. And we also learned how to be the best in life.
Earlier I was very shy to do everything, but after this I'm feeling like I can do everything which I want to do.
Thank you, ma'am, for encouraging me. I felt very strong after this session. I feel like I can move mountains like that. I can prove anybody that I can do anything.
So myself is Smriti. First of all, I thank you so much for this session. It's like you've become a voice from now. Whenever I feel low or whenever I feel that okay, I'm not able to do this, your voice will encourage me and motivate me for doing that and building confidence in myself. So recently I've been trying to build confidence, but I was not able to. The session has and whatever others think about me doesn't impact on me, and you have made it confident stay in my mind that I am unique and I am the rarest of them.
And I want to pick up a skill of learning and dancing. Why? Because everyone says I'm a really dumb person, and I'll talk. Others are speaking. That's why I want to pick up a skill to challenge me and to everyone shut up.
I'm from Chitrakuta Kaushalya. Ma'am, I thank you for this session, ma'am. Ma'am, from this session I learned what is self-image, and I used to have a low self-image. Now I can make myself to become a good person. I understood that I am unique and there is no one like me. And before, like if I perform and if I do something mistake in the performance, I used to feel bad. But now I challenge myself. Thank you for encouraging me.
I am from Chitrakuta Kaushalya School. Before I used to feel to raise my hands or to not because I would be wrong or not. So I didn't raise my hands. From these sessions I got to know how to improve my self-image and everything. Thank you, ma'am, for this session.
And I learned that first I was thinking that if I get less marks, my friends, what they will think about me. After this session, I got to know not only in study, I can show them by my skills. And thank you.
And we share the tips so that you can keep confidential in themselves, and it doesn't hurt your self-image also. We don't share much things that it doesn't hurt your self-image.
What is self-image? How was my self-image before and how did I progress it now?
I had a really low self-image. After this, I inspired from you that I should change myself, and who all are putting me down, I should challenge them and I should show them how great I am. Very good.
At first, when somebody used to tease me or tell bad things about me, I really used to think that it was true. After this session, I learned that I should stop comparing and start analyzing what they told and not think about the bad things they told. Thank you.
Very important workshop since it has given me a heads up on what is coming for me in further life. I've also learned what is self-image, how to improve your self-image and performance. Before, I was not aware of these facts and probably didn't know what self-image was. After this workshop, I am very grateful and I thank you for that.
First off, I'm really happy to be a part of this workshop, and my goal right now is to use these tactics to improve my self-image.
Thank you, ma'am, for this session. I actually got impressed as first itself about that story. I literally got goosebumps about that. You inbuilt my confidence level. I got to know that life is not as easy as you think. It's difficult. So, just to increase my self-confidence, I really needed this workshop. Thank you.
I only used to think low about myself, and from this session I got an inspiration to become a new person.
The key to performance and
The true potential of yourself. Thank you.
Learned in this session. I've been implementing it in my life from some past few months. And even though I've been implementing it, from what I took away from this session is that I had some self-doubt on myself every time I tried this. But now, after this session, I'm going to improve myself and not allow self-doubt. Thank you.
I'm from Chitrakuta Kaushalya. I thought that I was very low and I had a very low self